When did we close our eyes to all the nightmares and horrors inside? Quietly weeping, we cry, broken online. We used to talk to the stone, call nature our home, not going it alone. Now we sit on our phones, disgusted and outraged, report, dislike, unfollow the page. A beautifully tailored butterfly cage, blind, begging for change. We beg for change, like a room that we rearrange. Our mangled memories can be exchanged. Now, society may call you ever strange, but this is the war to wage. Hey everybody, and welcome to Honeybee Entertainment. I'm your host B, and that was just a poem I wrote a couple of years ago that I titled Social Mediocrity. I thought it was a good starting point for today's discussion of what I'm calling entertainment blindness. Now, the entertainment part refers to any form of social media or streaming site, whatever it might be. And blindness refers specifically to time blindness and our ability to get caught up doing different activities. So, what it is pretty simple. It's our ability to lose track of time by doing things that are enjoyable to us at the expense of either things that need to get done or other things that we enjoy doing that we no longer have time for. So, why do we do it? Well, the first thing I'll say is it's not entirely anyone's fault. All of these different sites, whether it be social media or a streaming site, Netflix of it, or an Instagram, whatever it might be, these things are all designed with our attention in mind. They're trying to retain our attention for as long as possible, and they do that through a bunch of different tricky, psychological tricks, whether that be the colors that they choose to use, the formatting, the sound effects. Everything together adds up to them being able to hold our attention for a very long time. Now, it isn't a bad thing to be entertained. As I kind of already said, these aren't necessarily, it's us not having the time or spending too much time on something so we no longer have the ability to do other things that we want to do. And this can definitely just become a bit of a headache. I've been struggling with this a lot recently, where the two that have primarily been holding my attention have been Instagram, Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Just because there's a lot of content creators on those two sites that I really enjoy their material, and I like ingesting it. But after 5-10 minutes of watching their stuff, I end up clicking on a short or a reel, and then I'm stuck. Then I'm in trouble because they got my attention, and now I have to exhibit a large amount of willpower to kind of pull myself out of that. And especially if I don't have something immediately in mind that I want to do, that will just turn into hours of the exact same thing. So, how can we potentially avoid this? Well, the first thing I would recommend, and I started doing this is something built right into YouTube that I've been doing, and I'm glad that it's a feature. You can set a break reminder for yourself, in which the app will simply stop playing whatever video you're watching, and it'll say, time for a break. Super helpful tool, and I would highly recommend that everyone sets a timer for themselves. Just because, like I said, it's just so easy. All of these sites are designed to keep us engaged, and if they're giving a tool in order for us to kind of break that engagement, I say use it. But even if it's outside of YouTube and a social media site, trying to be intentional about setting a timer on your phone before you do that. If you say, I got 10 minutes, I want to scroll through TikTok for 10 minutes, set a timer on your phone for 10 minutes and then start scrolling. You're still going to get that dopamine rush. You're going to get the ability to do what you find entertaining. But after those 10 minutes and that timer goes off, you give yourself a chance to actually look and be like, do I still want to be watching TikTok? No? Okay. What else do I want to do? And you can, start a new task. Even if that is changing from one social site or one streaming site to another, or, between those two or whatever it might be, just having that reminder to get you off of that and onto something new is going to be a huge improvement. And the second thing would be, and this one takes potentially a little bit more willpower than setting a timer, which is whenever you're bored, whenever you're kind of at that point in time between doing things and you're really not sure what you want to do, you don't have anything in mind, before you pull out your phone and just open up Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is, take a second. I would just start with a minute, but you can go up from there. Take 60 seconds to just sit down, close your eyes, and don't do anything. Give yourself a minute to do absolutely nothing, and in that minute, you'll probably come up with something that you would rather be doing than sitting doing nothing. And there's a good chance that that will be a more productive thing than, choosing to scroll on a social site. Whether that be taking time to do the cleaning around the house that you need to do, or to work on a school project or a work project, whatever it might be, I think that just amount of time, that break, is a huge, huge improvement for how you structure your time. And I think the last thing that I would say as a tip to how to break this is write out the things you need to do. Either on your phone or a piece of paper, a whiteboard, whatever you have, write down the things that you really want to do or the things you really want to focus on. Recently, a thing that I've been trying to focus on is to simply do my normal house activities. I work a full-time job. I live by myself. So 8 hours of my day is spent working and then grocery shopping and cooking food, cleaning up around the house. Each of those things can be done very easily. And even multiple of them can be done in the same day in a very short period of time. But all of those things together seem like a very daunting task, and being on my phone, deciding to open up YouTube for a few minutes seems like an avoidance tactic, and it is an avoidance tactic. But between setting those break reminders, taking a minute before you start something like that, and having all of the things that you would like to get done written down, with all those things combined, you give yourself a fighting chance of actually being able to start a useful project before you start entertaining yourself. So that would be my 3 tips on how to help break those things. And I will say that this is something I have been struggling with a lot recently, and these things are not the end-all be-all. It still is going to take a lot of time and thought to kind of break these habits, but I have seen a lot of improvement just by adding in those few things. So the last thing I will leave you all with is that I want you all to know that it's not your fault. As I already said, all of these different sites are designed to keep us engaged and to steal every minute of our attention that they can. So you are the victim here, but you don't have to be. You can take control of the situation, and there are things that you can do to keep yourself from getting blinded by all the entertainment. My last words that I would love to leave you all with is simply to remember that you control how you consume your entertainment. Your entertainment does not control how you spend your time. So, I hope that this video has been helpful. I hope that if you also are struggling with these things, that potentially one of these can inspire you to take the time to look at why you spend the time on different things that you do and potentially change that in the future. I'd love to hear in the comments if you have any different tactics that have helped you kind of break out of this sickness that we all, I feel like, are experiencing with our how our attention is being stolen. I'd love to hear if you have any, or if you've had success doing any of these things. So, I will talk to you all later. Thanks for watching. This has been Honeybee Entertainment, and I'm your Coach B. Ciao.